trying to learn? Is it important that this is truth, or that what she shared is her truth? That's what, it's what's important to her. But it was the value of having more than one set of eyes that said, no, I think, based on what we saw, we think there were some, we can use what she said. We don't have to throw out the interview. And sometimes you'll have an interaction with a customer and it's just a dud. They just, they should have been good and they're not, and that's okay. It happens. All right. So we've got about 5 minutes left. So neutral naming exercise. I think it's pretty obvious. If one thing is called super, don't call the other thing so-so. Zippy is not the same as lazy. So if you're calling something swift, you could call another concept quick. Does this make, so what would be something for beauty? Is there an equal naming exercise? What would you use for beauty that could be a similar word? Yeah.
Elegant.
Elegant, nice, okay, good. Any other? Yeah.
Sexy. Sexy,
cool, good. There's not a right and wrong answer, which is the beauty of this compared to most of your engineering classes. It's not like black and white, digital. You kind of get a feel for, wait, yeah, that is what we're trying to learn and that's gonna work. Like I said, you can do quantitative, you can do qualitative. I find that qualitative works really well earlier in the process, and then you need to get down to quantitative later when things are much more refined and you're at a point of needing to sell something. You need to get that quantitative where you can say 90% of people believe this is the right thing to do. Early on, it's not that meaningful. Yeah?
How would you say this qualitative, quantitative would apply to like a design and an experiment?
So
when you're aiming at getting a quantitative result out of it, I can see some of the benefit of having qualitative.
So where the qualitative could help is understanding what are the things that are going to influence your result. Like if you were trying to design a bicycle seat that doesn't get wet in the rain. So to understand, well, what are the things about that bicycle seat that are a problem today? And just watching people use it, it's going to inform you so that when you do your design, you're going to know what you're measuring. Because you can measure something and it can be statistically correct and statistically significant and meaningless to the actual problem. Data's tricky. I love data. I can roll around in numbers all day and just like dig in and it's like, wait, what was I trying to find out? So it's good to step back and ask yourself, wait, what am I trying to learn? What are the important parameters, and am I measuring those? And here's a little tip. Ask why a lot. Please be objective. Don't no leading questions. And so when you do all of this, what do you get? So you get stuff that in EPICS gets you credit, gives you awesome design reviews, and also creates a really a very good result for your customers. You get concept ratings. So when you're doing a design review, you can include the data as appropriate to make your design review more robust. You get customer verbatims that really, again, make, I think, a much more rich design review and let you convince your audiences that don't have all the expertise that you do, that you're on track and you're on target with your design. You get market potential, and you may even get naming and branding feedback. I know some of the EPICS projects do go forward into a commercialization phase, and so you guys can have some of that built right into what you're doing, not just the functionally correct, thermodynamics, but that it has a great name and a great brand. This is way too many words on a slide. So 2 minutes left. Any questions? Yeah.
How do you, in a design review process or asking questions, ask for the user feedback on something you're having an issue with without discouraging the customer?
Right. So if you show them, here's what you have today, if they have something, and then here's how we're thinking, and here's another way we're thinking. Let them interact with all three of them in some way, or ask their questions so they really understand it. And then ask open-ended questions. How might you use this? How would you see this improving today's existence? What concerns would you have about it? So you always ask on both sides, And if they ask a question like, well, is it blue or green? You always say, what would you like it to be? What would work best for you? So you always turn their questions back into questions for them, because what you want to know is what they think. Then as the expert, you have to take their feedback and turn that into a specification for operation. Does that help? Other questions? I know it's time to go. All right, thank you guys for being here.